Welcome everybody to Food for Thought Thursday. We're here today in the Melbert kitchen. I'm here with my kitchen boss, Karen. What we're here today to do is to prove to one of my patients, Andrew, whose quote you just saw, that salad indeed is not boring. Salads can be very vibrant and can be a great meal. So we have an entree salad we're going to prepare for you today, a chicken caprese salad that I think you will really enjoy. So let's dig in. Our first step is to season the chicken prior to grilling it, and so what I like to do is just put a little dash of olive oil on all of the breasts, and we'll do this on both sides. And so just a little dab, probably about a teaspoon per side, and just a nice little coating. And so then what we'll do, we'll just kind of brush that in. And these are chicken cutlets, but you should feel free to use just regular chicken breasts. I like the cutlets just for the simple fact that they're sort of butterflied, and so they grill a little more quickly. Now, after we have our olive oil on, then I put just a little bit of kosher salt, and I just lightly season that. And again, we'll do both sides. I'll just show you the one side. So now we're going to put a little bit of coarse ground pepper. Life is too short not to have some seasoning, so just gently sprinkling that around. And then after the pepper, we'll use our granulated garlic. Garlic powder would also work well here. And not a whole lot of garlic, just a little sprinkle. And there you go. So now I'm going to take these out and we'll grill them. And while I'm grilling, then Karen's going to show you the next couple of steps in the actual salad.
While the chicken is grilling, I'm going to show you how to prepare the lettuce. We like to buy organic lettuce. This is a 50-50 blend. We also like spring mixes, but you can use any kind of lettuce that you like. One thing I've learned from living with a germaphobe all these years.
Please don't have any of the dog with your nose.
Is that you never ever trust anything that says it was pre-washed. So we always wash it again. Give it a fresh dose of water. And then what I do is I just move it to a clean towel. You can lay another towel on top of it to help it dry, or you can just let it air dry. Now I'm going to prepare the vegetables and the cheese and the seasonings for the salad. And this is a really simple salad because there's just a few ingredients. You'll see that we have tomatoes, we have mini mozzarella balls, and basil. So really easy way to get started on entree salads if you're new to the entree salad world. I'm going to slice these in half because they're a little large, so I always cut them in half just because they're more manageable. Next, I'm going to cut the mozzarella balls in half as well because they're good size. They're about the same size as the tomatoes, and I like them a little smaller in size. I will probably use this entire container for the salad that I'm making, but again, depending on how big of an entree salad you're making, you can adjust the quantities.
So we're back from the grill, and we have 4 lovely chicken breasts that are all done. It's really important for you to let those rest for about 5 to 10 minutes before you slice them, just to make sure that all the juices settle down and the meat is fully cooked. So we're all set for that, and we'll be back to slice them here in just a few minutes.
Next, we're going to cut the basil. This is fresh basil from the grocery store. It's already rinsed, and I love the smell of basil. It just makes everything smell so good. So I just break it off the stems, like so. And really, there's no amount in particular. You just put however much basil you want. Now, I have these snazzy little herb scissors that I absolutely love. So what I do is I nest the basil leaves together, and then I fold them, and then I take my scissors and I just go and I snip them, and you'll see they make these nice little sort of banners, and they just look really pretty on your dish, and they're manageable in size too. So there you have it. Those are your ingredients. You have your tomatoes, you have your mozzarella cheese, and you have your basil. And those will be the toppings to your lettuce and chicken.
So one of my favorite parts about making the salad is actually the dressing. And I know this is something that most of the time folks don't want to do. It seems like an extra step, a bit of a tax, but I think it's one of the things that elevates a salad when you make the dressing from scratch. And honestly, you know, there's about 4 or 5 ingredients. It takes all of about 5 minutes, so it's really pretty easy. So let's just run through that real quick. So we have our pre-measured ingredients. We have our olive oil. So we'll pour that into our bowl. And then we follow that up with our balsamic vinegar. Then we have both a teaspoon of our Dijon mustard, put that in there. And then we have our teaspoon of honey. Ignore the dog bone in the background, scooting along the floor. And then we have 4 splashes of lemon juice. I'm just gonna go ahead and the first splash is in the cap, but I'm a big fan of the lemon juice in this recipe, so there's a second, a third, a fourth. Because I love it, we're gonna add a 5th. All right, and then actually we need a little salt and pepper. So we'll just grind that freshly, really quick. A little pepper, a little salt, and then the fun part is the whisking. So we're just gonna sort of gotta break up that mustard and that honey a little bit. And there you have it. There is our balsamic vinaigrette. Now we just want to very quickly get our chicken sliced, and then we're ready to assemble our salad. So basically I'm just sort of cutting in fairly thin strips, and then if the chicken is kind of wide like this one, then I'll go back and cut them in half lengthwise. So, but you just want the chicken to be able to be small enough to be integrated in with the salad and be bite-sized. So after this is done, Karen will actually build the salad because she is very artistic and I am not. And that's our chicken.
And now comes the fun part, assembly. I really love this part because you can really get creative and, you know, make it look pretty. So we're gonna start with our bowl of lettuce. One trick that I like to do, because it's so pretty when it's all assembled, I don't want to toss it and ruin the look. So I take a handful of chicken and I kind of tuck it underneath here. It's almost like layering. Therefore, you don't have to do any tossing until after you've presented it on the table, and then you can just get after it. And I'm going to use a lot of this chicken because, again, this is an entree salad, so this is your protein. Otherwise, you're going to be starving in an hour, and nobody wants that, right? So chicken goes on first, and the reason I do that is because all the colors come from the toppings. And so I really want those to shine on top. That's what makes it so pretty on the bed of green lettuce. So you can see I pretty much emptied that bowl. One little morsel left. We want it. Okay, so next I'm gonna come in with the tomatoes. You can really see the salad starting to come to life now with the tomatoes on top. They're just such a beautiful color. All right, so there's the tomatoes, and last but not least, here comes our mini mozzarella balls. And these are fresh. If you've ever bought these, you'll find they come in water. They're not seasoned, it's just straight up mozzarella balls. So you've taken just a plain old bed of green lettuce, and you've added your protein, you've added your beautiful red tomatoes along with your mozzarella balls, and we've created this wonderful Italian-like chicken caprese salad. Now, the last part is your dressing. After a while, this dressing's been sitting, so you can see how it kind of separates. So you're gonna have to give it a last minute whisk. And you'll notice them when you whisk together the olive oil and the balsamic, it becomes a little thick or viscous. And that's what you want. You want it to be kind of thick so that that olive oil and the vinegar doesn't separate from one another. So then I just take it and I just pour it on top. And this recipe, you're gonna wanna use the whole thing. Simply because this, you know, down deep in here, this is a big salad. So you wanna make sure that you've got coverage. One nice thing about this dressing is you can double the recipe, you can even triple the recipe and just store it in the fridge so that you're not having to make your dressing every single time. Now, I always save my basil for the topping because again, it's just a beautiful, beautiful garnish. And there you have it, folks. That is a chicken caprese salad, a wonderful entree meal for you and your family. And you just stick your salad tongs, your servers in there, and you plop it on the table, and you have a great dinner. Manja!